Just joining us is KIZITO Mubiru OGWANA from Uganda.
Yep.
Let me try. Jie baleko.
Jie baleko nyabo.
Wasuzucha.
Njeni bulungi nyabo. Ogamba chi nyabo. You're blocked. Yes, good.
But at least I tried, and that's how you should welcome them when they come over here for Chan 2020. You are a business intermediary, and it's beautiful that you have accepted our invitation to come over here to tell us about Uganda. First off, you just whispered to me earlier that the elections is happening today in Uganda.
Yeah, we're having our elections today, and the whole world is looking at us.
Yes.
Although those images you see on the foreign medias are not exactly what is happening. We have gone through a lot of violence before and we always stand. If you look at our flag, you see the crane on one leg.
Yeah.
It's because Uganda is always it's not stationary, it's always in movement. We shall go through. As a businessman, I cannot take part with the candidates or for the candidates because no matter who wins the election, let it be the one in power or the other 14 or 15, or I don't know how many they are today, competing for the seat, I will do business with them. Because what is important for me is Africa. Africa must grow. Africa for us, Africa by us, inter-African trade by Africans. Because with the corona, nothing is going to be again the same in this world.
And we have to seek to improve our continent.
Nobody will come and help us. Nobody.
Yes, and we're going to talk about that definitely. But then earlier on, you told me that KIZITO means heavy.
Heavy, yeah. My name is KIZITO is joined together, but it's KIZITO. It's heavy.
It's heavy.
The baby is heavy.
And then
OGWANA is a child, the big child.
Or deserving.
Or something you deserve. It depends on how you pronounce OGWANA. Something you deserve, and OGWANA is OGWANA. OGWANA is one, OGWANA is the big child.
Yes.
I don't know whether I look big, but...
you're a big child.
A big child.
Yes,
that's good.
Big brain child. But that said, what's fantastic is so many people have an impression of Uganda. And you're here to clear it out. Because you have an interesting story. You've lived between Uganda and Cameroon. Tell us about growing up.
Okay. First of all, where I was born where? My mother, coming from Cameroon, went for further studies in France. My father, coming from Uganda, went for further studies in France. As Africans, they met. And I think they had a project of giving birth to people like me.
Yes.
That's how I came to life. So we first of all moved from France after 7 years to Uganda. Both of them are lecturers, university lecturers. She taught in the Makerere University, where I grew up. All my childhood was spent in the University of Makerere with the father. Then when things went a bit rough in the 1980s, after the fall of Idi Amin Dada, the popular late Idi Amin Dada, nobody can talk about Uganda without talking about Idi Amin Dada.
Good you mentioned.
We moved to Cameroon. Then my parents also continued in the old Yaoundé University. It was already divided into two. That's how we came to Cameroon. But before that, we were always moving between Uganda, Cameroon, and all the other countries where my mother, as a language teacher, French language teacher, was working with the French Coopération Française. So everywhere we would teach French in East Africa, my mother went. And sometimes we followed.
KIZITO.
Yep.
Uganda is known as the Pearl of Africa.
Yeah.
Why?
Go and ask maybe Churchill. He's the one who found that in 1901 that Uganda was a green garden where everything was just growing. And I think he was not wrong because the first human being fossils discovered by anthropologists were discovered in East Africa, Lucy. Maybe that was the Garden of Eden. I'm not saying it's is it. And maybe that's why they call Uganda also the country of God, because on our motto, sometimes you will see, we say, for God and for my country.
Yes.
Everything is based on God. You cannot live in Uganda without a religion. You can't.
Which is important.
And we live without any problem. I have uncles who are Muslims, others who are Protestants, others who are Catholics, and we live together.
In unity.
I've seen the same thing in many countries, including Cameroon, which is the Africa in miniature.
True.
And I find the comparison very, very close. There's a very small difference between Cameroon and Uganda.
And I think that's why you feel so at home. It's part of you
African.
as well. Yes,
African,
and that's beautiful.
And Cameroon is a specific country in which foreigners are particularly very, very comfortable and safe.
You heard that, or you coming over. It's very important.
I'm saying this because those media who are trying to give a negative image about Cameroon and its leader, who has stayed for so long in power, that's a gauge of stability. We have the same thing in Uganda. People don't accept when you see the Occidental world attacking a head of state in Africa, it means the guy has known the thing, the trick, the code.
Now, KIZITO, let's veer a little bit away from politics and stay within socio-cultural conversation. If someone were to go to Uganda, as I'm intending to do so.
You're invited.
Thank you. I heard that education there, it's a priority.
Yeah, it's a priority. You have very good universities with very good teachers and at a cheaper price. Many universities in the UK and the US have their campuses in Uganda. I don't want to call names because it's just I'm making an advertisement for a particular university which is in Cameroon. But you have all the important knowledge in the Western world, in America, and everywhere found in Uganda at a very, very cheap price.
And everybody can afford also affordable? Electricity.
Electricity. But I want to talk about the literacy rate, which is at 71% of the population.
Yes.
So that 31%, I think you have a population of people who don't want to go to school, or who maybe oriented themselves to different things.
Yeah, different options.
School is open to everybody at every age. You don't have age limitation. You can enter the public service at any age.
Interesting.
That's it.
Okay, now let's move over to...
Electricity.
Yes,
We're talking about electricity. We have the dam. We have the longest river of Africa. I think one of the longest in the world. So if you look at the source of the Nile, and you just stand beside the river Nile, around Lake Victoria and Jinja, for example, and you calculate the amount of energy. Even if you don't believe in God, I think you believe in God once you see the amount of water, with the power and the stones and everything hitting. Uganda distributes energy to neighboring countries.
Okay.
And we are even preparing to do more because now we have discovered oil, gas.
Yes.
That's why many people are looking at us with big eyes and trying to destabilize Uganda. It's not going to happen. We are not going there. We have elections. I would like to tell the Ugandans in our language, Katonda wafe atukumire lero. It means God should pray for us today because we are playing stability today in Uganda.
And we join you as Cameroonians to pray for your nation. We're going to be talking about culture, fashion, style, and all of that because I see you're quite fashionable. But first off, let's go to Congo. The fashion kings of Congo.
Which Congo?
Congo in general. They are good in fashion. Now, if you want to know, exactly, the two Congos, they'll be here in Cameroon. That's why we're talking about them. So if you pay attention, you learn more about their fashion in this report.
To learn.
Kamfune wentula, mabulire nembuzi. Mbozi zange, insona, zibera za mukwano. I'm available. Kuno kutalika nkuba bangu wabaduka yenza ring rubber buta magic omukabuka Black Scarf Entertainment.
Trop d'avance comme Rolls-Royce sur moto. Fali et Poupa du Cap la merveille. Original. Original. Laissez écouter bien. Original.
Congo-Brazzaville. On connaît le Congo, c'est un pays de sapeurs. Ça, tout le monde le sait. Le sap, c'est l'amour. Hein. Même si tu es en colère, même si tu te fâches, arriver à la maison, tu mets le CD, tu vois la manière dont ils font leur défilé, la manière dont ils font le pas, donc la sourire, ça enlève un peu. Voilà, la sap, c'est ça la sap, c'est l'amour. Je suis sapeur, mais je ne suis pas sapeur. La sap, ça demande des moyens. Tu veux être un sapeur, il faut avoir des sous. Le Congolais, c'est une voiture qu'on voit, la veste, cravate, jatance, clac, clac. C'est la chaussure qui parle.
Bertrand le mix et Erickson le guide Jurel Tibi. Francis au sommet. JJ Issou. Lid Mazebetini. Chapi Copa. Richard Kabala le club. Bénis.
Je suis congolais de naissance. Je suis très content d'être congolais. Je suis sapeur. Mais tout congolais est sapeur, hein, dès la naissance. Ça, il n'y a pas de débat à faire. C'est une éducation qui est partie depuis les parents, les anciens. Vous voyez, quand quelqu'un est né, quand maman a payé un peu la culotte, il peut aussi faire l'enfilage. Depuis le bas âge, il commence déjà à marcher avec des rythmes cadencés. Quand tu es bien habillé, ça veut dire que tous les problèmes s'échappent. C'est comme si tu n'as plus rien en toi. Tu penses à rien, mais tu penses qu'aux habits. Quand tu es bien habillé, tu penses plus à autre chose. Aller faire le banditisme, je dis non. Parce que quand tu es habillé, tu ne peux pas faire la bagaille. Tu as peur que tes habits puissent un peu se froisser contre l'habit, tu vois. Vous comprenez? Donc quand on est sapeur, on est correct et on est respectueux.
Christian Moncou, le casting club présente Yvain Rich Martin.
Je suis congolais d'ici, je m'appelle M. Seyd. Je suis un peintre artiste. Donc ça, c'est l'habillement, c'est anglaise. Je suis un anglais quoi. Ma veste là coûte même au moins plus de 950 €. C'est M. Crémier. Ma cravate c'est coton café. Ma chemise c'est Crémier. Mon débardeur c'est M. Crémier. Ma ceinture c'est Hackett. Je suis Hackett. J'ai des bas de fil de Corse. Et puis j'ai des paires clochards. Ça aussi c'est Crémier. C'est du Crémier. Les lunettes c'est M. Lafont. M. Lafont. Jean Lafont. J'ai le swatch. Donc si tu arrondis, tu vas peut-être dans le 2200 €.
Je suis un crémier. C'est toujours Daniel Crémier. Parce que lui, c'est un ancien de Crémier. Toujours en Daniel Crémier, je suis toujours... C'est-à-dire que je ne sais pas comment vous le dire, quoi. C'est un polo. Je suis en polo. C'est-à-dire que c'est son école actuelle. C'est-à-dire du bas en haut. Je ne peux pas aller deux fois. Je ne peux pas dire I-O-A sans pour autant passer par lui.
Vous remarquerez, si vous voulez, je peux enlever ma veste. Ce n'est pas permis, mais je le fais pour vous, les Camerounaises. Vous voyez? Un style, on appelle ça au Congo ici la Ouija. Ouais. C'est du sans ceinture. Ça vous plaît ou pas? Vous voulez que je fasse des skinten? Si vous voulez. Ça vous plaît?
Le Congolais. Le grand bébé. Robert Brazza. Ville le Montagnard. Francis Nzinga. Chidrel Goli.
CFA, which is not normal.
Wow, we're having a chat here as well while watching the amazing report, and we're still in conversation with KIZITO from Uganda. What would you tell us about the Ugandan man or woman that's particular if I were to visit?
The first thing you're going to notice when you get to Uganda is the politeness of the population and the extreme submissiveness of the lady to the man, even if the man is not the husband.
Really?
When I get to my village, for example, in Jinja and in Buvuma, I have two villages. Okay. One is on the, what do you call the heartland, the other is, I'm from the island. So when you move to the inner part of the country, you can have two villages. We are fishermen, we are agriculturers. Yeah, we have a lot of cows, by the way, in the country. So women don't greet you standing up or crossing the legs like this, excuse me. You're free to do it here. Yeah. There is kneel down. Even older women call me Sebo.
Okay. I'm not kneeling down.
No, don't kneel down. They
but
bow
I'm just going
down.
to respect.
They bow down and say, Sibitan Sebo.
Which means?
Greeting you.
Okay.
Hello, sir. You're welcome.
Yes.
How are the children? How are they?
So a lot of humility.
Just like in the northern part of Cameroon or some part of in the Sahel, you see the way the woman is very respectful to the man in public, because in the house when neighbors are not there,
different.
She is the wife, but in public she's very submissive. When you call a lady, she I mean, she packs herself and listens to you without looking at you in the face.
Okay.
They are very respectful ladies.
Now, another part that we may want to know about Uganda is what we eat when we go there.
Oh, there's a lot of variety of foods, traditional, local foods. It depends on which part of Uganda you go to. But for where I come from the Buganda Kingdom, which is the largest, the most powerful, and the biggest community, you get the name to the country, you eat most of matoke.
Which is?
Smashed banana or something like intermediate between banana and plantain, but it's not the plantain. With beans, we'll eat a lot of beans. We have a lot of meat, so we call it nyama. You eat it, everything is cooked in a leaf, banana leaf. You can also have cabbage. You can, the food is enormous. You have goat meat, you have pig meat for non-Muslims. Then you also have a lot of food coming from the Asian culture. Because 12% and even maybe more, I don't have the recent statistics of Ugandans are Asians. Asians from India.
From India.
Pakistanis who are there for more than 3 generations.
Now that leads me to something else. Yeah. The country is open to other countries coming in, even in investments.
Uganda is very open.
Yes.
And I can prove to you this by just the way we give our nationality to people who want to naturalize. You keep your name, you keep everything. You come to Uganda for a big investment, we give you everything. And you go to the immigration authorities, you can become a Ugandan.
Just like
Double
that.
nationality is not a problem in Uganda.
Okay.
It's not a problem in Uganda.
All right.
And the thing is so fast, you get the passport in 3 days.
Now, in other ways for people who want to invest in Uganda, where can they go to for information?
It depends on the type of investment.
Yeah.
By the way, everything is under the Ugandan Investment Authority, Minister of Finance, Minister of Planning, and this and that. But a Ugandan Investment Authority, if you go on Google, for example, you have a one-stop shop. The address is there. It's transparent, digitalized. There's nothing. And since it's digitalized, it's very difficult to have corruption there because everything's open. You can open an account, you can buy land, you can acquire land because for some things, for some industrial implantations, they can give you land. They accompany you. Uganda is very open to foreigners. In Kampala alone, you have so many restaurants of Lebanese, Ethiopians, Turkish, French, everything. You're freer in Uganda and other parts around us.
And what it reminds me of is how open we are even in Cameroon.
Yes.
What is the best part about being a Ugandan stroke Cameroonian living in Cameroon?
You are pre-empt Africa. Because moving from the central region to the eastern region and all the rest, that's when you understand that colonization did not destroy us. We are the same. We have a tribe in the southwest, the Bakuri, who have the same names like women, especially the women in Uganda. You have names like Namundo, so many of them, Namata, in Cameroon, and the same names are found in the Buganda Kingdom. So we are one. We have the same customs, marriage, death, everything. It's common. The only thing is the language. Because the British mentality is not the same in the Portuguese colonized countries or in the Arabic colonized countries or in the Anglophone colonized countries, the British, So the only thing, French, the only difference is the mentality of the intelligentsia and those who went to school, who impose an image to the rest of the population.
KIZITO, it's a lovely time having a conversation with you. I want to know more about you a little bit before we separate. I know that you like playing tennis and swimming and all of that, but what's the other side of KIZITO?
When you talk about other side, which side?
The relaxed side. Because we talked to you about you being a business intermediary. We can't focus on that. But when you're relaxing, do you play football? I play. I know the rules and maybe what I'm supposed to do when I play football because I play football. I played football in Cameroon. I played football. But I'm not a fan or a mad person about football. I'm in martial arts, wrestling and judo, for example. Yes.
That's my thing.
Okay.
I did not do boxing, but I almost did boxing.
Let me adjust myself now because...
The good thing with martial arts is that you learn to control yourself.
Very good.
Yes. With weak people, a lady is a weak and vulnerable person. She needs protection, of course. So when you're the lady, that's when you are very important to her. You protect her. It would be very wrong for a judoka to beat a woman. That's
arguable, but one thing is certain, we've had a lovely time with you, KIZITO. And I will wrap up again by saying, Wasuzochia. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Ihims will be here to tell us about the Chan Anthem 2020.
Okay.
dance from the lovely Uganda after having a lovely chat with KIZITO, who told us a lot.